India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi held delegation-level talk with Indonesian President Prabowo Subianto in New Delhi on Saturday. The two leaders held discussion on bilateral and international issues. During this, 4 pacts were signed. India and Indonesia exchanged agreements and signed MOUs in the field of health cooperation, traditional medicine, maritime safety, cooperation, cultural exchange program and digital development. During the press statement, PM Modi said India and Indonesia will mutually strengthen areas like artificial intelligence and Internet of Things.
Tech, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things और डिजिटल पब्लिक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर जैसे क्षेत्रों में हमने आपसी सहयोग को और सशक्त करने का निर्णय लिया है। हेल्थ और फूड सिक्योरिटी के सेक्टर में भारत अपने अनुभव जैसे कि मिड डे मील स्कीम और पब्लिक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन सिस्टम इंडोनेशिया के साथ साझा कर रहा है। हमने तय किया है कि एनर्जी, क्रिटिकल मिनरल्स, साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी, स्पेस और स्टेम एजुकेशन के क्षेत्रों में भी साथ मिलकर काम किया जाएगा।
Earlier, President Subianto received a ceremonial welcome at the Rashtrapati Bhavan in New Delhi. He is the chief guest for 76th Republic Day celebrations at Kartavya Path on 26th of January. During his remarks, President Subianto referred to India as a great friend and acknowledged New Delhi as one of the first nations to recognize Indonesia's independence.
Indonesia considers India a very great friend. India was one of the first country, maybe the first country to recognize our independence, to support us in our struggle for independence. We will never forget what India did to help us. I'm really honored today, and I'm doubly honored that tomorrow I will be the chief guest at your Republic Day parade.
Later in the day, Indonesian President Prabowo Subianto met India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi at Hyderabad House in New Delhi on Saturday. The two leaders held bilateral talks at Hyderabad House. This is President Subianto's first state visit to India after assuming office in October last year. The visit underscores the long-standing partnership between the two nations and their commitment to strengthening ties across various domains. Later, Indonesian President Subianto visited Rajghat in New Delhi and paid homage to the father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi. The president also signed the visitor's book. India's President Draupadi Murmu will address the nation on the eve of Republic Day on January 25. The speech will air at 7 p.m. IST across all Doordarshan channels and Akashvani in Hindi and English, with regional versions following shortly after. Following the initial broadcast, Doordarshan will continue the transmission in various regional languages on its regional channels. This ensures that the President's message reaches every corner of the nation, emphasizing the country's cultural and linguistic diversity. Akashvani will support this outreach, broadcasting the regional language versions starting at 9:30 p.m. IST on its respective regional networks, making the President's address accessible to a broader audience. Doordarshan, the public broadcaster of India, has made special arrangements for the live coverage of Republic Day Parade on 26th of January. Information and Broadcasting Ministry officials visited the site at Kartavya Path in New Delhi to take stock of the arrangements. DD India correspondent Vishal Baristo reports.
India is all set to celebrate Republic Day Parade on January 26th. The day marks the adoption of India's constitution and the country's transition to a republic on January 26, 1950. The grand celebration will showcase country's cultural diversity and military strength, with a special focus on the 75th anniversary of the enactment of Indian Constitution and the theme of Jan Bhagidari, which means people's participation. Two tableaux during the parade will showcase the celebration of 75 years of Constitution. Floral decorations, view cutters will be depicting the theme. Balloons at the end of the program will be released with the banner of this message. The chief guest for the parade will be Prabowo Subianto, President of Republic of Indonesia. The parade will feature a 160-member marching contingent and 190-member band from Indonesia, joining Indian Armed Forces contingents on Kartavya Path in national capital, New Delhi. India's public broadcaster Doordarshan will telecast the entire event live for viewers across the globe. More than 50 cameras have already been set up for the mega event.
So the entire team of Prasar Bharati, both Doordarshan as well as All India Radio, and their all the constituent units, officers, staff, personnel, all of them have been working tirelessly to ensure that the telecast and the radio cast of this very important, the most important event of our country happens smoothly.
The event would be covered in 4K format and would also be aired on Doordarshan's OTT platform Waves.
Each time we try to do something better, something which has not been attempted in the past. So one of the things that we are doing this year on the Doordarshan coverage is that we are deploying full 4K cameras, where for the last 10 years we had been doing an HD coverage. But now in terms of the picture quality, this is going to be about 8 times better compared to previous years.
The parade commences at the iconic Raisina Hill near the Rashtrapati Bhavan or President's House and makes its way along Kartavya Path, past India Gate and concludes at the historic Red Fort. Each state will present its beautifully decorated tableau, showcasing its unique culture and traditions, truly embodying the spirit of Jan Bhagidari. From traditional dances to elaborate floral decorations, every element speaks volumes about unity that binds us despite our diversity. Along with Doordarshan, the All India Radio would also air live broadcast of the event. Vishal Baristo's report for GD India.
ISRO, India's premier space agency. In an exclusive conversation with DD India's Subianto Ghosh, ISRO chairman said India is increasingly leveraging its advances in the space sector to support nations of the global south.
Today, the India is globally accepted as a outstanding spacefaring nation. And when you look at the space-related activities, and it is not only for some of the activities, it will help not only India, it is a common thing for all the people. For example, take disaster warning and management, take that climate change monitoring and associated things. So thereby, today, India, we are having collaboration with 60 countries. Out of that, 40 countries were from global south. So we thought that we have to collaborate together, give a leadership role and contribute not only for Indians, for the global society, and particularly the global south.
The ISRO chief also shared an update on the ambitious Gaganyaan mission. It is India's first human space mission. 2025 will witness Gaganyaaan's uncrewed orbital test mission.
If you take Gaganyaan program, it is meant for taking our own astronaut to the space and bring them back safely. Now, to do entire thing safely, we are planning 3 uncrewed missions. Consecutively it has to go and we have to succeed. And then lot of experiments we have to do. For example, including parachute experiments, then crew escape system demonstration experiment, all these things has to be done. Finally, we will go for the actual mission. Now, this year, important milestone what we have targeted is, apart from other experiments and development works, first uncrewed mission.
And you can watch this exclusive interview with Dr. V. Narayanan, Chairman ISRO, on Saturday at 8:30 p.m. IST or 3 p.m. GMT, only on DD India. And in a major win for India, the US Supreme Court has cleared 2611 attack convict Tahavvur Rana's extradition to India. Rana is wanted in India for his involvement in the 2008 Mumbai attacks. The US Supreme Court dismissed a review petition against Rana's conviction in the case. Rana had filed a petition for a writ of certiorari before the US Supreme Court in November last year. This was denied by Apex Court on January 21st, a day after Donald Trump was sworn in as the American president. Rana is currently detained at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Los Angeles. This was Rana's last legal chance not to be extradited to India, as he has already lost the legal battle in several federal courts, including the US Court of Appeals for North Circuit in San Francisco. India was seeking the extradition of Rana, a Canadian national of Pakistani origin, in the 2008 Mumbai terrorist attacks case. Rana has been declared a fugitive by India and is facing multiple criminal charges. Hamas is set to release 4 female Israeli soldiers shortly in exchange for a group of Palestinian prisoners under a ceasefire agreement aimed at ending the 15-month-old conflict in Gaza. Earlier on Friday, Israel confirmed that it has received a list of hostages who are due to return home. While, as per Hamas, 200 Palestinian prisoners are expected to be freed as part of the exchange. The Israeli Hostage and Missing Families Forum said the women due to release are Karina Ariev, Daniela Gilboa, Nama Levy and Liri Albag. The exchange is part of a fragile ceasefire between Israel and Hamas aimed at paving the way for lasting peace. Meanwhile, staff at Belinson Schneider complex in Israel were setting up rooms and treatment as they await the release of more hostages from Gaza. Video released by the hospital shows hospital beds and care packages being arranged alongside medical and exercise equipment. And still to come on this edition of DD India Live. Russia's Putin dismisses Trump sanctions, open to talks. Zelensky accuses manipulation. Philippines accuses China of harassing fisheries vessels in the South China Sea.
From the historic milestone of Chandrayaan-3 to the recent space docking mission to the ambitious vision of Gaganyaan, it is an exciting phase for India's space program.
Today, the India is globally accepted as a outstanding spacefaring nation. India, we are having collaboration with 60 countries. Out of that, 40 countries were from global south. If you take Gaganyaan program, it is meant for taking our own astronaut to the space and bring them back safely. Now, to do entire thing safely, we are planning 3 uncrewed missions.
You're watching DD India Live. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj. Russian President Vladimir Putin on Friday described US President Donald Trump as pragmatic and smart, expressing doubt that Trump would lower global oil prices to harm Russia. Speaking to Russian state television, he further dismissed Trump's threats of new sanctions against Russia, stating that he doesn't believe Trump would take any action that might hurt the American economy. Expressing his willingness to meet the newly inaugurated US president soon, Putin also reiterated that he was open to discussions on issues such as Ukraine war and energy prices.
We hear about the possibility of imposing additional sanctions against Russia. I doubt that Trump will make such decisions that will harm the American economy itself. He is not only a smart man, he is a pragmatic man, and I can hardly imagine that there will be decisions that harm the American economy itself. It would be better for us to meet, based on the realities of today, to talk calmly on those areas that are of interest to both the United States and Russia. We are ready.
Реалии сегодняшнего дня поговорить спокойно по всем тем направлениям.
Meanwhile, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky accused his Russian counterpart Putin of trying to manipulate Donald Trump. This comes after Putin praised the US president and expressed readiness for talks with him.
The report of the head of the Foreign Intelligence Service on Russia's military potential and Putin's readiness to continue the war and manipulate the leaders of the world, and in particular, he wants to manipulate the desire of the President of the United States of America to achieve peace. I am confident that no Russian manipulations will succeed anymore.
Belarus is set for presidential elections 2025 scheduled for this week. The elections are expected to extend seventh term in power to the President Alexander Lukashenko. Lukashenko, a close ally of Russian President Vladimir Putin, has already ruled the Eastern European country for 31 years. The exiled opposition has denounced the elections, calling it meaningless pretense, as all leading critics have been jailed or forced to flee. The last time Belarus staged a presidential election in 2020, authoritarian leader Lukashenko was declared the winner with 80% of the vote. Lukashenko faces 4 other candidates, but none has presented any serious challenge or criticism. He has said that he is too busy to keep track of the election campaign, but offered a sweetener to voters this week by announcing that pensions would rise by 10% from February 1st. In a historic vote, US Vice President J.D. Vance broke a 50-50 tie to confirm Pete Hegseth, a former Fox News personality, as the new US Secretary of Defense. 3 Republican senators voted against Hegseth's confirmation, citing concerns about his suitability for the role. However, with Vance's tie-breaking vote, Hegseth is set to become the new Pentagon chief. US President Trump expressed happiness on the successful Senate confirmation of his Defense Secretary pick, Pete Hegseth.
I'm honored to have Pete. I think Pete's going to be a great Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, and we're honored to have him.
United States, the world's biggest donor, froze virtually all foreign aid, making exceptions only for emergency, food and military funding for Israel and Egypt. Secretary of State Marco Rubio sent an internal memo days after President Donald Trump took office, vowing an America First policy of tightly restricting assistance overseas. The sweeping order appears to affect everything from development assistance to military aid, including to Ukraine, which received billions of dollars in weapons under Joe Biden's presidency, as it tries to repeal a Russian invasion. The directive also means a pause of at least several months of US funding for PEPFAR, the anti-HIV/AIDS initiative that buys antiretroviral drugs to treat the disease in developing countries, largely in Africa. US also made an exception for contributions to emergency food assistance following crises around the world, including Sudan and Syria. Tensions are running high in South China Sea after the Philippine Coast Guard accused China of conducting aggressive maneuvers against Manila's fisheries vessels on Saturday. The Philippine Bureau of Fisheries vessels were reported harassed by 3 Chinese Coast Guard ships and a Chinese Navy helicopter, forcing them to abandon their scientific survey operations. This incident is just the latest escalation in the long-standing territorial disputes between the Philippines and China in the South China Sea. And now to all the latest from Mahakumbh, the largest gathering of humans on the planet. Ahead of the auspicious occasion of second Amrit Snan on Mauni Amavasya, Uttar Pradesh's Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath will visit Prayagraj on Saturday to review the preparations. Millions of pilgrims are expected to flock to the holy city of Prayagraj to take part in the second Amrit Snan in the mega spiritual event Mahakumbh 2025 that will be observed on January 29th. More than a total of 102 million people have taken dip in Mahakumbh since its commencement. Mahakumbh, the largest and the oldest congregation of devotees at Prayagraj, is bringing world-class digital experience to the visitors through its museum. At the museum, AI-generated Narad Muni, a sage divinity famous in Hindu tradition, as travelling storyteller and musician himself, tells you the importance of Mahakumbh. To know how, take a look at this report sent by Deepika Mehta.
The Mahakumbh 2025 has reached 10 crore milestone as more than 100 million devotees have taken the holy dip till day 11 of the biggest confluence of faith and devotion in Prayagraj. And now the devotees have also the chance to take a digital yatra to the Kumbh.
Mahakumbh 2025 has already reached the 10 crore pilgrims mark, and now it is time to take a holy dip but digitally. Let's now begin with the tour of Digital Mahakumbh.
For the first time ever, Digital Mahakumbh offers a tour to Prayagraj depicting India's rich culture and history. The devotees can immerse in the beauty of the confluence of the river, take a tour of Varanasi's beautiful ghats, understand the history of India and its prime ministers, and the experience of churning of ocean stories through digital display.
Narayan ji, namaste. Can you tell us the importance of Mahakumbh?
नारायण महाकुंभ मेला एक अत्यंत महत्वपूर्ण धार्मिक और सांस्कृतिक आयोजन है जो हर 12 वर्षों में 4 पवित्र स्थानों पर आयोजित होता है प्रयागराज, हरिद्वार, उज्जैन और नासिक.
So there you heard the importance of Mahakumbh straight from Narad Muni ji. Let's move forward.
And there you saw that not only the Digital Mahakumbh has explained every aspect beautifully, but it is interactive too. One can ask the importance of Kumbh, the history, significance, and more through the help of artificial intelligence. The devotees felt afresh after taking this innovative and knowledge-filled tour.
What was the best part?
Best part was that the digital part, all the digital part is the very best, but the thing that it make in only 10 hours, it's very amazing actually.
How was it?
It was wonderful, like very nice, very nice.
What was the best part?
The whole Mahakumbh and this digital part was very good.
It was very nice. If you want to know all about India's spirituality, then come here once. I really liked it.
The building is spread over an area of 10,000 square meters and accommodates 2,000 to 2,500 visitors at a time.
So hope you enjoyed the digital trip to Prayagraj that brings you all the ritualistic importance of Mahakumbh 2025. What is the significance of bathing and completely immerses you into the river Ganges, Saraswati and the confluence of Triveni, but digitally. With camera person Shiv Suman, this is Deepika reporting for DD India from Digital Mahakumbh in Prayagraj.
Let's take a look at other stories making news today. India's Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri will be on a 2-day visit to China from Sunday. Briefing media in New Delhi, External Affairs Ministry spokesperson Randeep Jaiswal said the Foreign Secretary will be meeting his counterpart, the Vice Minister in China, where all issues of bilateral interest will be discussed. Security has been ramped up in Jammu and Kashmir's Akhnur ahead of 76th Republic Day celebration. Security forces were seen carrying out vehicle checking to ensure peaceful and safe environment in region. The Indian Railways marked yet another milestone after the much-awaited Vande Bharat Express successfully crossed two iconic railway bridges, the Chena Bridge and Anji Khat Bridge in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. The crossing is a crucial step in operationalizing the Udhampur-Srinagar-Baramulla rail link project, which aims to seamlessly connect Kashmir Valley with the rest of the nation. Time now for sport, and Team England will look to bounce back after suffering a 7-wicket defeat to India when both teams face today each other at M.A. Chidambaram Stadium in Chennai. Led by Surya Kumar Yadav, India will aim to extend their lead to 2-0 in the series with another strong performance led by sensational bowling performances from Arshdeep Singh and Varun Chakravarti, coupled with blistering 79 from Abhishek Sharma. The hosts hammered England down by 7 wickets after chasing down 133 in 12.5 overs in Kolkata. In the opening T20I, India made the surprise decision of leaving out seasoned pacer Mohammad Shami from playing 11. However, it is expected that Shami will feature in the second T20I as the team management will want to assess the fitness ahead of the upcoming Champions Trophy. That's all for this edition of DD India Live, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms, and you can scan the QR code on the screen to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live.